Hello everyone, it's Wendy. Today I'm going to be making this great water bottle carrier and lunch bag. It's the second video in our Helical Hold-Alls Series. These projects use only chain stitch and single crochet. So even if you're the most beginning of beginners, come along with me and you can make one of these great items. You will need 3 colors of worsted weight yarn and a 4mm crochet hook. Start off with a chain of 10. Then, in the second chain from the hook, insert your hook, pick up a loop, yarn over, and pull through. Just a little recap of the single crochet. Do a single crochet in each chain all the way to the end. You will have a total of 9 single crochets because we used 1 chain to step up to the next row. After that's done, it'll probably curl a little bit. Just give it a bit of a tug. If it curls a lot and you can't straighten it out, it means your chains are too tight. So just go back and relax those a little bit. Now we're going to do a second row, chain 1 and turn. And our first stitch is this second V from the hook, right? Because this is our chain 1, our turning chain. This is our first stitch between the first 2 crossways bumps at the back here. Single crochet in each of those stitches, going underneath both sides of the V that you see along the top here. So after you're done that row, double check, count the V's across the top, make sure you have 9. Then we're going to do the same thing again. Chain 1, turn, single crochet in each across. Repeat that single crochet row until you have a total of 9 rows. How will you know you have 9? Well, you can see they kind of work in pairs here. So I've got 1 pair, 2, 3, 4 pairs, so that's 8, and 1 extra row at the top. On this side you can see my 4 pairs along the top and my extra row at the bottom. So it's a total of 9. With the earbud pouch project that we did in the last video, we just used 2 colors, which looks really great, but in this one we're going to use 3. This green color is going to be my first color, and I'm going to start by working down the side of these rows that I just made, because we're going to start working around the square like this. Another thing to check is that the square that you've made is roughly the same width as the bottom of your water bottle. So if your water bottle is quite a bit bigger than this one, you might have to go with more stitches for your square. So my first step is to do another single crochet in the same stitch as the last stitch to navigate the corner there. So I've got 9 stitches here. This is 1, and I'm going to put 1 in the end of each row. Okay, so just double check, count 9 here and 9 here. I'm going to drop this color for the moment and start my second color with a slip stitch on the hook. And here I'm working in the other side of my starting chain. So I'm going to put 1 stitch in each stitch of the chain at the base of the single crochets that I did on the other side of the chain. Okay, so just make sure it's 9 there as well. Drop that color and pick up your third color. and work 9 single crochets down this other end of these rows. It's not so important exactly where they go. It's just important that you have 9 on each side. Now we're going to continue with this color number 3 around until we catch up to our first color. So just going on to the next side, work a single crochet in each single crochet. When you get around to where your first color started, drop the color that you're working with. You can put a stitch holder in that loop if you're worried about it coming loose. And you'll just have to untangle your yarns as you go. Then put your hook back in the first color and continue working on top of the second color, 1 stitch in each single crochet. It'll curl at the corners, but that's what you want it to do because it needs to wrap up around the water bottle. When you catch up to the next color, drop this color, pick up the next color, and carry on. And that's how this helical strategy works. You just chase the colors around and around, catching up to the next one, dropping that color, catching up to the next one, and so on. That way there's no joining of yarns, no sudden jumps where you join your colors together. It just goes around in a nice spiral and gives you great stripes going up your water bottle carrier. So I'm just going to continue around and around, going up until my length of the project is tall enough to reach the point where I'd like it to on the water bottle, somewhere at the top of the neck here. I'll come back in a few rows and show you what it looks like. After a few rows, you can see it's getting this nice striped effect, and it's a good size for my water bottle. I will just keep going until it's long enough. I hope that you're enjoying this project so far. Okay, that looks like a good length, I think. I'm going to stop with 2 colors on one side and 1 color on the other side to get ready to make the strap. Now you can make whatever length of strap you want. If you want it shoulder length, you can make a longer one. I'm just going to make a short one. I'm going to finish off this color by doing a slip stitch in the next stitch and cutting the yarn and pull that one through like so, and then I'll work this end in. On this side, I'm going to cut the green one, the lower one, and also do a slip stitch to finish it off. Pull it right through. And then the blue one, I'll slip stitch 1 stitch further. So I'll single crochet in that one and slip in the next one. Now I'm going to make a strap. Just by doing enough chains to make the length of strap that I want. I think 40 chains looks about long enough. Making sure that you don't twist the chain, join it to the other side of the water bottle carrier halfway around by going into that top stitch and just doing a single crochet into that stitch like that. Now turn and work all the way back on the chain putting one stitch in each stitch around. I'm actually going to put my yarn through here so it's on the back. There we go. So there's my handle with one row of single crochet. Then I will single crochet into the next stitch at the other end, turn around and go back. Should make these single crochets fairly tight. That will help to prevent the strap from stretching a lot. You could even go down a half a size with your hook if you wanted. And then after that, I will join at the other side in the same way and come back and do a third or a fourth row of single crochet. It really depends on how wide you would like your strap to be. I think 3 rows looks wide enough. So at the end of that, I'm just going to cut the yarn but leave several inches because a heavy water bottle is going to put a lot of strain on these straps. So using a yarn needle and that extra length of yarn, I'm going to sew this a little more securely on the inside. Putting some extra stitches around and around to really anchor that strap down tightly. That looks more secure like that. I'll finish this thread off by running it underneath some of the stitches here. And then join it to the other strap and do the same thing. And there we go. Perfect for carrying around or hanging off your beach chair, whatever you need it for. Let's go on to the lunch bag. The lunch bag is made in exactly the same way, the same construction, but of course it needs a larger base. So instead of the 9 rows and 9 single crochets that we did for the base of the water bottle carrier, you'll need to make a larger one. Mine is 40 single crochets wide, so I started with 41 chains, and it's about 11.5 inches wide, and I did 12 rows here, which gave me about 3 inches wide. But you can make it whatever you want it to be. The important thing is to remember that when you add your second and third color, you should have the same number of stitches on either end. So I have 12 stitches on either end here and 40 to correspond with the 40 that I had over here. And the other point to remember is to join your colors at the corners so that they're not so obvious that you're starting a new stripe. Then just continue around and around for as long as you want your bag to be, or as tall as you want it to be, in exactly the same way that you made the water bottle carrier. And there's my lunch bag all finished. Came out fairly large, so it'll hold a large lunch, but you can make it any size you want. You finish off the top edge with the every other strategy that we used for the earbud holder, or in 2 colors like we did with the water bottle carrier, or like I did here with an extra couple of rows of 1 color just to finish it off. And I'd suggest ending kind of where you would like your handles to be so that you can hide that little step there. For the handle, you could crochet a handle or recycle a webbing handle from a reusable bag, or as I did in this case, use some rope from the dollar store. I think this was labeled clothesline cord. It's like a nylon rope. And I just braided it and tied each end and made a second one in the same way. melted the ends so that they wouldn't come unraveled, and then simply sewed it onto the bag. The nice thing about a handle like this is you can just throw the whole thing into the washing machine. And there we go, all ready for back to school or heading off to the office. Of course, the bag would be great for all kinds of things, including a project bag for your next crochet adventure. I hope that you enjoyed making this project and that you'll join me on the next video. Have a super day.